All right, I don't know how to do any of this, so we're good. Okay. What was we gonna do?
Loading in. So thank you everybody for staying tuned as we got all that sorted out, and we're gonna finally figure out if DRG is able to beat KCP
There we go,
and take
dog.
this best of 3. That rhymed for some reason, and it sounded pretty good.
Yeah, and this is going to be a little bit interesting because these teams
I
may have
don't
been
know
iced
why.
out just a little bit. I know we've been talking about KCP being a momentum
I can't
team.
move my camera.
I
but
know
it's
they
okay.
have what it takes to continue that even through this break here, but everything's getting loaded up. We're going to be starting a new match on Nozomi Citadel.
Oh my god. Thank you again for your patience.
Finally,
we are loading
they are
back
starting
in
a new match
to
here.
Nozomi Citadel to find out who will take it away from here. The teams are loaded in. The battle is about to begin. So Soyo, take us away.
Here we go as we run out of this hallway. Everybody in full form right now, checking out, doing a little bit of a check and getting locked in. But we do hit another pause.
Oh, there's no live
Very,
chat?
very
That's
interesting.
crazy work.
So,
all right.
Somebody just yelled. Did you hear?
I think Jerry stubbed his toe and paused the game. Yeah, there's another stubbed toe.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
No more delays.
Finally, here we
everybody.
go.
Nope.
Oh my god, there's no way.
The screams, these
This
are
is
screams of joy
ridiculous.
coming from
You
them.
hope.
Yeah, you
right?
hope.
No audio in game. That's a bug that actually has been around for a while. If you leave a game while it's paused, there can be some complications. But we're gonna get this started.
There's no way.
Yes.
Yo, is that
Yes.
Jerry? Is that what I
Harry,
see?
Jerry, and Bald Air.
Harry, Jerry, and Bald Artie.
Shout
Yo,
out to Rue for being awesome out there. Love the signs.
We were talking about Jerry grabbing his man bun. He needs to actually turn into Harry Jerry. I saw it when we were doing karaoke the other night. I mean, Jerry and Artie just swapped hairs.
It was great. And I hope everybody is spamming those emotes in the chat right now because they are truly wonderful. But yeah, we're going to have one more restart. Was no audio, but I have a feeling that most of the issues are behind us. And smooth sailing from here on.
There's Harry Jerry emotes?
Yes, there are.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
Harry
amazing.
Jerry and Bald Artie.
Bald Artie and Harry Jerry emotes. Yo, we got to spam those.
Yeah, absolutely. But I saw Sawyer. We've talked about a lot. What are your thoughts?
It's been ridiculous.
Because we've been on this map. It is one of the newest maps in the entire game.
There's
I
been a
love the
pause.
style of it. I was actually happy
Like,
to chat with
dude,
Bart about
this
it
is
as
the
well. He
second
said it was one
pause
of the
since I've
quickest maps
joined,
that they put together.
And it's just been
isn't that
ridiculous. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
I
lie.
definitely think they've gotten their groove in terms of making these maps. They know exactly what the players like at this point. It's maps like Fortune Stadium, Sis Horizon, and Nozomi Citadel kind of fits that bill and is just a perfect map, perfect combination of some long-range line of sights and close-range engagements that happen indoors, really forcing people, explosive fights. That's really what people love to see. The explosive fights in the finals is just spectacular. It's a spectacle.
Well, and just the theming and just the style of that map as well. It's such a beautiful presence. And you've got that divide line going right down the middle, and you can just see where it's Via and CNS just clash.
Yeah, and sometimes I find myself just sitting right in the middle, letting the waves ride over me, the sounds of whales flying in the sky. It's just immaculate.
Absolutely. And it looks like the match is about to be loaded up, so we won't have to stall for too much longer. But look at those beautiful faces of the DRG players. I need to go meet these people. I didn't get to meet them at the meet and greet yesterday, and I am really looking forward to it now. Oh my God.
Yo, look at that KCP pendant.
What?
That is clutch. That is sick.
Okay, I got to buy one of those because that is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
And
and
look
I
at that mustache. That is pure greatness right there.
also got to catch a glimpse of that DRG jersey. It's also looking very fresh as well. That green is just, I mean, it's clean. You can't, there's no other way to put it. It's very clean.
Yeah, and I was having this conversation with somebody the other day. It's like, I got to figure out what jersey to buy. You know, I can't look biased. So I wanted to buy them all, but I am going to have to decide on one at the end of the day. And it might be whoever wins.
I mean, if you do buy them all, you might have a hole in your pocket and you might be only wearing the jerseys.
Yeah, and I might have an angry wife too. And, you know, you don't want that happening. Why'd you spend all of our money? The finals, you know. I've had to explain
The
that before,
finals.
but
No.
hopefully not much.
Don't
The
spend
love
your
of the
money on
finals
the
just runs
finals,
deep. It
dude.
courses through our veins. That's why we're here up here. We love the game, and the restart is coming in, and we're going to be going to the match very, very soon. And whenever you say soon, I just feel it's honorary to say soon TM. I mean,
Soon TM indeed.
I've been watching the game since the very beginning, and soon TM, I needed a date, and it just kept me at the edge of my seat.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, I can confirm that I see the loading screen and I see the players. So that's 2 out of 3. The next one is we actually get into the game. So I am going to stay hopeful, cheery, and positive and tell everybody that this is it. We are going to finally see who takes it away on the Zomi Citadel. I couldn't be more excited because we've been yapping about nothing.
Dude,
and now we get to talk about the game and the action that we love so much, Sansoyo.
And for the third time, we're running out of this hallway. We're getting a gateway, getting those rotations out, running straight in towards Vault 1.
Yes, there it is. Nice gateway.
There
Bring
we
the rest
go.
of his teammates over there. The vault hasn't been tapped. They want to go for this engagement right off the bat. They are anxious, wanting to get in that.
Lagging,
One of them
though.
went down on DRG right away. There is the second one. Only remaining is E, and he is not surviving on a ton of health. Got about halfway there. Gonna run out, back up.
is
Let
it lagging?
KCP get the
Is this
tap on the vault.
high-quality bug
Let his teammates
esport?
coin back in.
Yeah, and he's just going to play his life, wait for those coins, just like you said, as Spawns makes that rotation away and trying to get a early rotation, maybe trying to protect his team on the rotation, get them cleared out as they go for A. This is going to be a great point. Kind of what we talked about earlier, the divide just offers such a great line of sight. It's very difficult to push over, especially when you put up those drawbridges, but early shots coming out. We're just taking a little bit of damage, but we're going to shoot back from Spawns.
Yeah, and I love this setup as well because you can see all of the approaches
through
here.
that.
You can bring up that bridge and just make it a little bit more difficult for them to come over, forcing them to the left if anywhere. But you can also blow up that area, but it looks like they've decided to bounce pad over. That Hathaway will drop that gateway, bringing the rest of his teammates in there. And boy, there goes one of them down immediately. Llama getting the first kill and looking from, sorry, Spawn's got that first kill. Looking for the next of them. They have been pushed away to the side with Goo, forcing them down. Hathaway, the only remaining
he got
member,
stuck on
and he
the
gets
wall.
caught out by that Shaq 50, just deleting them down. KCP holding control of his cash out.
Yeah, and I did like, even though that Gogo did get taken out, Hathaway just sitting on that high ground. He waited to isolate that light, maybe get some clean
he's
shots,
bringing-
because you can just two-burst that light,
Oh,
take him
no,
out
he did
very
not.
quickly. And unfortunately, the setup, the cash out does drop, and it breaks some building. That whole building is, I mean, just puncturing a hole straight through. But we're going to be looking at where DRG spawns in. I think they do spawn near that bus stop yet again. And this is what we were talking about. It can kind of manipulate and force them out towards that harsh rotation back in. But we're going to be sitting back, taking a little bit of off angle, and they get caught off guard, but they're still back up very easily.
Yeah, and I said this before, KCP seems to stay very
Dude,
close
this
to
is
their
a
cash
hard
out. They
angle
don't
to
want to let
fight.
anybody come in there and get a free steal. But as I say that, they have moved away from the cash out to try and kite this down as long as possible. There are 2 drops on
I
that cash
swear,
out,
dude,
sitting
if
it
there's
almost to
another
the bottom of the
pause,
floor. Going to
everyone's
make it
leaving.
way more chaotic as the teams want to dive on there. There is the dome shield in hand by Gaga. He wants to try and grab it. The winch pulling it off into the corner. They've got it. They're going to hold it. If they can get this, they'll get the flip and turn everything on its head. This is interesting as the teams are going at it, but Hathaway, the only remaining person, and he has just been spotted out, and there
Oh,
they go.
no.
KCP looking strong.
Hathaway was looking
dude.
great. He was getting some great shots in the back, and then just unfortunately gets caught on that vent on the escape. But
How
I mean, it
did
was
he
probably a
drag
little
the
bit too
shield,
late.
dude? That's what I wanna
KCP
know.
had a great defense. It looked a little bit tricky during that dome. I saw that dome get pulled entirely by that cash out. Otherwise, if it didn't, it would have been caught a little bit off guard. But Hathaway ended up rotating out, and now KCP taking the advantage in this game. Shooting that stoplight. Doesn't want to stop.
What, does that
I wonder what
stoplight turn on if
what
you
that
shoot
even
it?
stands for.
I don't know. Maybe
like.
more than me.
That was interesting, but Vault 2 about to be tapped by KCP. At least they're right on top of it. They might not go for a tap just yet, but this is the setup. They're getting some height advantage, want to let DRG let themselves be known, give them a little bit of information away before they make any move.
They're going to hide, and then they're going to try to get
does
the
not want to
kills.
take that pad. They want to take a
And they're gonna go
slightly
for the vault,
off-angle
which is a bad
approach onto
idea.
this, catching a light off guard. He gets some great shots. Hathaway taking a big red barrel, but ends up finding that pick. But that's Brendy finds that defib as Hathaway gets taken out. Hathaway maybe a little bit overextended, felt a little bit confident after that 2 shots, but now it's just going to be E and Guga trying to make their escape. E is a little bit separated from Guga, and now they try and find a regroup, but they gets pounced on by KCP. And now we're just, again, left
There's
alone.
just one dude
for E to
alive every
escape,
single time,
Coin
dude.
back in potentially, but they're going to burn to their last coin if they do both coin in.
Yeah, and I see this situation happen a lot, even
Dude,
in
he
pro
should
play,
die.
even
Just
in
die.
my games, which are nowhere
to
near
go
pro
die.
play. But it's the fact that
Let
if you
everybody
get
come
separated
in.
from your team and you even have one person out of position, you have just messed up an entire approach, an
Add a
entire
coin, dude.
push, everything, because you need to go as a team, wipe as a team, and kill as a team. So unfortunately, when you have that happen, staggering is what the
Dude, this is
result
the worst
of this
place
is,
to
and
get
it can just make everything that much
cash
more
out, I
difficult
feel
on
like.
the approach.
Yeah, and this is another strong
Unless you can break it.
defensive setup for KCP. That billboard can offer some great line of sights, but Llama trying to regroup with his team, get ready for that jump pad RPG, because a lot of people do like taking that center big pad, but look at this. I think that was like one red barrel. It took down the entire thing, and now there's tons of rubble and cover on that cash out. Let's see how DRG approaches this.
Oh,
Looks
that's
like they might
smart,
try
breaking
to
it from
drop
the
it
bottom.
down from below. They don't want to take the direct on approach. Just going to try and force them in as it falls all the way down this hole.
Yeah, and look at this. It's actually on a really good spot. It's on a ledge
getting
off to the
stuck,
side.
dude.
If they can hold this, this will be great for them. But Spawn's immediately bringing down E, and now Guga at half health and the only remaining member. I am not sure, but it looks like KCP might have this as one more wipe goes off for
Oh my
DRG.
God.
And they're going to have one more attempt. And that might be it.
Yeah, after all this waiting, it could just be it. I mean, KCP has
This
a
could
very
literally be
strong
the
setup.
level,
That's like
though,
a
dude.
very, very hard cash out to ride down. It drops down 2.5 stories essentially. I mean, it just
Look at the destruction.
and the building's just crumbling around us. I mean, this is exactly what you love the final for. You love it for the destruction, the dynamic content that you get, dynamic gameplay. As we go in, we're going to be at 30 seconds left, and DRG still has a decent opportunity to make an approach, but it's not much time.
Well, and all of that rubble and all of that dropping makes it a little bit more chaotic. And this is their opportunity. They need to do it. They've got the goo roofs
Oh my
and
God,
everything.
there's no
They're
way.
holding strong. I think that they're going to get the flip. They got the flip. Now they have to hold on for a few more
Oh
seconds.
my God, they
Guga
got
taking
it.
a lot of damage. Hathaway being another player getting a great kill there. Guga still remaining in there. They've done it. They've kited
got
this for
the
a few more
steal.
seconds, and then they have this. We'll bring it to 3 cash outs, which is exactly what we want to
There's
see.
no way. I mean, KCP
They
just
won,
has
though.
such a strong defense, and they just flubbed it. They got
No
the flip.
way.
Now
The
it's
comeback is
even up. I
crazy,
mean, this
dude.
could go either way, Rio.
It is the goo. You build that goo roof.
They were
and
literally
can't
just saying that
see you.
KCP
It
was gonna
forces
win
them to
that,
have
dude,
to
and
dive off of their position,
it kinda
get
looked
right
that
in their
way.
face. And if they don't time it perfectly, the flip happens, and that's what we saw.
Yeah, and I knew DRG were aimers. I didn't know they were builders too.
No, that's a great way of putting it. And I think people sleep
crazy.
on goo and have been sleeping on it, but not anymore. Goo is used so heavily in the pro scene, and you can see exactly why. Vault 3 has been spawned. It has been tapped by KCP.
Dude, it
they
was
want to take
supposed to
back
be
control and
over.
show us
That's
that
the
they can
crazy
take this
thing.
map.
Yeah, they have this high ground control. They're just waiting. But look at this off angle. He's going to try and get some damage. He didn't get that much, though. But now we're going to try and re-rotate. He does find them again, and this is like what Hathaway is known for. He loves taking these aggressive off angles. He does get caught out a little bit sometimes, but he gets so much damage.
Oh
before
my
that.
God,
And now
that
we're
lag
gonna
is
have
crazy.
An explosive fight. We see Llama getting taken out, but a trade coming out from Spawns off that off angle. E getting dropped, and Brandy. It's just going to be a 1v1 basically with the 2 lights, but clean up on the 2v1. My bad.
Well, and now DRG are in control of this vault. They're going to get the plug. They're going to have the opportunity to get set up. And I don't know if we've really even seen DRG's defenses a ton. They seem to be a really aggressive team that comes in there and breaks the defenses of other teams. So maybe we will see the perfect setup that KCP just can't crack. But this is all it comes down to. We have one more cash out. We're watching this replay now as they just get wiped up. But now the vault has been plugged. It is all down to this on Soyo.
Yeah, KCP gonna clear up the high ground. DRG just sitting tight. They love bunkering. They love looking for the right opportunity. I mean, this is kind of how the meta has formed around this goo gun, around these such strong defenses. You just kind of have to force them out unless you're able to find them and get those early picks. But the damage is going to start an RPG, not going to do much damage, but offer them an escape path. But the winch comes out and counter winch as well. And it looks like Goga's the one who took the short end of the stick in that winch fight. But now we're going to be resetting, going in strong spots, going to try and get an off angle.
He's still alive
guard as we look for those resets. Sitting in that corner, you see him with face up right in that bush, and finally getting caught off guard.
Oh boy,
it's all down on E. If he can try and stall this or just wait for his teammates to come back in, I think that's what he's going
to. Ooh, they threw it outside.
Down the clock. We've got about halfway left on this cash out. But now the teammates are pointing back in, but still 9 seconds left before his last teammate can get back in there and make one final push.
I mean, we've been talking about their coins previously, and this is exactly what they needed for. One last coin, one last opportunity, 30 seconds left on cash out B, but KCP, we've seen them have strong defenses, but they have flubbed that last one. DRG just knows exactly where to put those dudes, knows exactly where to take that.
I'm reading the comment section on YouTube. It's
wild. Now in a 1v1 versus a light, tries to get away. Can he regroup with his team? That red barrel going to be doing a little bit of damage to even things out, but the chase still ensues, but it's going to be down to the last second. We do get that force point on that steal, and it's going to be winched off, denied by KCP, and KCP
it got winched off.
Denying, and they do have it. KCP takes it.
Wow, what an incredible way to wrap up this series. KCP are able to show that they can beat DRG in a best of 3. Well done.
And I saw a little bit of a pop-off. We see KCP standing up, feeling themselves.
Oh, man.
They are excited.
And look at that crowd. What a beautiful crowd. And let's pass it off to our beautiful people at the desk to break all that
Kansas City Pioneers. That's what it is.
Absolutely incredible stuff. It was a long pause, but a quick game. We're going to all 3 cash outs. And I got to say, though, it was not anything other than we had said. It was a close one.
Yeah, that was DRG really giving as good as they got, and they were very close at the end.
Now, there should be one more after this, too.
Impressive. Like, I can't believe that we've witnessed this team so early on, and they've made such an impact. This steal was really strong, a really impressive steal, but you have to say Dharma made him drop the ball a little bit here, of course.
Yeah, you'll see there's a C4 on that cash out. At any point, he could have hit that. It would have blown up some of this goo, would have done a lot of damage. He barely died in his fight against Guga, and that could have been the difference. Just those small
dude forgot about a C4. That's what happened. They sold because of that.
That has to be cleaned up as you move further.
I mean, I think they cleaned it up right here. In this play right here, that was the perfect timing to dive in to get the winch. And, I mean, the scoreline speaks for itself. Your spawns, absolutely insane. If anybody else would have warmed down in this, but it looks to me that HD Spawns himself has actually just stayed perfect, cool, calm, collected, 10 elims, almost 7K combat. Also, Llama as well, almost 7K combat. An impressive performance. The Kansas City Pioneers, they will progress to day 2. We will see, of course, DRG in phase 2 alongside.
He said, bruh, I just joined.
You know, honestly, I'm looking forward to watching more DRG. I'd like to see them tomorrow, especially after what they've put. But I am very excited to catch up with them later today. And I hope that they keep this performance up because this was convincing.
It truly was. They were just an impressive force. I don't know much more to say. I think we need to take time to go over that footage, and that's something that teams will be doing in the downtime, is studying these opposition, because that is fresh data on their opposition now.
Speaking of fresh data, I know a perfect place to source that fresh data straight from the South Atlantic Garbage Patch. Let's go ahead and talk to Oscar on the stage.
Welcome back over to DreamHack.com. We're finally through our second group. Joining on stage is KCP Llama. All right, you've just secured your spot straight to day 2.
Yep.
Can you just, how does it feel to be so good at video games?
Oh, it feels good, man. I can't wait to just chill and watch my boys.
Was this the plan all along? Show up, win, complete the cash out, win, a somewhat.
This man
quick
just woke up
and
and
just
was
go to day
like,
2.
let me throw
Absolutely.
on some sweats, let me throw on some
Never any doubts in
shoes,
your mind.
Never
let me
any doubts
just
in my
throw
mind.
on a
Nope.
jersey.
Are we
call
gonna
it a day.
change anything up for day 2, or is it just same old, keep going?
I'm sledging everybody day 2. Come ready. You too, Busy.
That's fighting word. He calls out busy at the end. Hey, thank you so much, Lama. Enjoy the victory. See you day 2. And hey, if you can't wait to see more of the finals, if you're thinking we're just getting started, you're correct.
He said, I'm
Because we will be
sledging
right back with
everybody
more
on day
finals
2.
after this
Oh,
break.
nah. So they going to give us a break. A 3-minute break, but we done, dude, the pauses is like 20 breaks, dude. The pauses were like 30 minutes. 30-minute pauses, like, that's crazy. Like, added up, like 2 pauses together was like 30 minutes. That's crazy.
Have you lived your life in filth and sin, fraud, jaywalking, or depravity? Don't leave your eternal fate to chance. Secure your heavenly place with our divine coverage. Holto's Pearly Gates Insurance. Your absolution is our mission. Holto, your key to eternity.
Is Holto even a real thing, dude? I actually have to Google that. Is it even a real thing? There's no way. Okay. Just a minute ago. Holy. Whole bunch of waiting, dude. I ate. I'm so full, dude. I'm tired now, dude. See you next. Here we are. now the sound's off? Maybe a review or reveal of some sort? Let's see. There you are, Yoda.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Finals Grand Major 2025 here at DreamHack Stockholm. My name is Artie, and I'm joined with a special guest. This is the Kelly Milkies from Alliance. Hi.
Good to see you, Artie. I made it in time.
You made it in time. It's
Seems
good
like
to see
my
you.
payoff to CNS worked out.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So we're paying out CNS to actually hijack the major. That's crazy. That's crazy work. And especially considering your team is up next.
Super excited.
Yeah.
I was like kind of in between. Should I be at the studio or should I be there in the crowd? But, I decided to come over.
I'm happy that you did. Otherwise, I would have been up here alone. And it's crazy. This actually isn't scripted at all. I genuinely have never met Kelly in person until this moment right now, but we've known each other through the finals for quite a while. And I think that's like the best part about this community is that everybody in the finals just gets to know each other. It's such a tight-knit community.
It really is. We have a couple of esports in Alliance, of course, but something that really drew us to the finals is how engaged the community is. I myself actually started playing in season 7, and I started streaming as well, which is crazy because I haven't streamed in 8 years. Everyone's always coming to help out in chat. Everyone's always being super friendly. So yeah, I think I would say that I'm the highest ranked team owner right now in ranked.
Genuinely, I actually have the stats to confirm that as well, which is hilarious. So it's awesome to be up here on the stage with the actual co-owner of Alliance. It's awesome. I mean, we should hate each other, but it is what it is. But genuinely, no, I'm looking forward to it. I'm also looking forward to Group C, which is where we're about to jump into. So let's take a look at the teams that are going to be participating. Alliance is going to be there, but let's take a look at the others. That is, of course, going to be Vanguard Gaming, Nightmare, and King Zero. Now, this is going to be an absolute bloodbath because not only do we have the top-rated team from EU, Alliance, we have the top-rated team from NA, Nightmare. We have the top-rated team from China, King Zero.
Buddy.
And we have Vanguard Gaming, a team that I rate very highly as well.
I think it's pretty crazy. A lot of people said that Group D was the hardest group, but then I saw our group and I'm like, how are we with Nightmare? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And the Chinese teams watching DRG play, I'm shocked. They just started to play 8 weeks ago or something, and they're already matching up with KCP. So it's really exciting to see how, it's gonna develop the esports.
Mind you, King Zero beat DRG in the previous qualifier. And mind you, that DRG was playing with their coach as a sub. So the power rating here for King Zero is completely unknown. And genuinely, I'm so excited. There we go. Also, another shout out to another member of Alliance. That's Young, coach.
Yep. I mean, honestly, when I look at our group, I was a little bit worried, but the boys said they are confident. So it's going to be quite, exciting to see what metas are going to be in this server since it's the top of a lot of the regions. And Vanguard is pretty good as well. They're also one of the top teams in
Nightmare.
Yeah, Vanguard is absolutely incredible. I mean, there's the coach there, Sugi, not to mention, obviously, for Nightmare, you have the coach Zuki. You also have Gremlin playing for Nightmare, who's also a coach himself. I feel like this is going to be the group of coaches, just to be honest with you. And I'm excited as a coach myself to take a look at this and watch what's going to happen here. I mean, KZ setting up, it looks absolutely menacing.
I'm gonna type in where's Sang Woo, dog.
I mean, I really can't wait for this group to start. It's kind of what I've been waiting for today, but Group A and Group B, it was really, really good games as well. So hoping to see some cool stuff going on in Group C. What's kind of your predictions?
My prediction? Well, I mean, now that I know that I'm standing next to you, I feel like I probably should have had a different prediction, but genuinely, I gotta say, I think it's going to be Nightmare. I have to say that Nightmare is a team that has shown us, especially through PHL, that they can withstand, especially in cash out where it matters the most. And Alliance is pretty good at cash out, but there's so many unknowns here, Kelly.
Of course, anything can happen in 12-man, Watched some scrims this week when they were at boot camp, and it was really intense. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'm actually curious to see what the maps are. So we have the map bands in. Let's go ahead and see if we can get that overlay thrown on here so we can learn what maps are going to go on. Here we are. King Zero going to be banning Monaco. Chinese teams don't like Monaco, I'm learning.
Oh, they're
already. And
banning,
Nightmare
dude.
gonna
I
be
didn't even
getting
know they
Seoul.
banned that.
Alliance gets rid of Fortune Stadium. This has been happening a lot recently. Vanguard Gaming getting rid of Skyway. No way we're on Sis Horizon again. No way.
Crazy.
The odds of that happening are just as high as the odds of CNS hacking this broadcast.
Very high then.
Apparently.
Extremely high.
No, I was reading that and was like, oh no, that's actually true. 100%.
But what's interesting is that, in NA, I would say, I mean, EU teams are pretty good. And this is like, of course, no shade to any of the European teams.
Said
But I think a lot of
rigging,
European teams
dude.
feel a bit threatened by American teams because they feel that, NA has like a higher volume of good teams. They have got better practice coming to the major. And, when you're very close to the major, you don't really want to scrim people in your group.
Yeah.
So it's, outside of PHL, I think we haven't had like a lot of chance to actually play against Nightmare.
Very true.
So there's a little bit of worry there. I don't know. Is it, what do you think coming from NA? Is this kind of like the grass is green on the other side because the EU teams are saying, NA teams get better practice?
I mean, you see, Young and I both have kind of a unique outlook on it just because of the fact that we are NA players, but we coach EU teams. And the thing about that is that while the NA meta does develop a little bit faster than the EU meta, the EMEA meta, the thing
That's
that
the
ends up
gag,
happening
dude.
is that EMEA
The lore,
does
dude.
end up finding certain things that bring to light differences in playstyles or cracks in the sort of foundations of certain macro plays that either NA or EMEA are pulling out. And one of those things that has developed in EMEA recently has been Invis. We've seen the rise of Vanish Bomb. We've seen the rise of Invis as a spec being picked over Dash. And that is something that both Team Secret and Alliance have been playing with. And not only that, but I have seen Nightmare just actually taking a few different takes on that idea. The other thing as well, though, is right now there's a big back and forth as far as glitch is concerned. And I'm not sure how familiar you are with all of the things that Carnifex decides to bring into the scrims, but genuinely, I never know whether or not to expect glitches to come out when we're scrimming Alliance.
Yeah, something that I kind of tell them is also it's like, okay, we don't get to practice them as much, but that also means that they probably don't know that much about us outside of what they can see when we play, PHL and the qualifiers and all of that.
Very
so
true.
I would say that we for sure have something up our sleeve.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, speaking of PHL, actually, this is a perfect time to talk about it. We actually have a B stream that's happening right now. And actually, it is Rio and Waltz that are going to be casting and guiding through the elimination matches that are happening. This B stream is going to be found on YouTube as the B stream for the Finals Grand Major. If you're on Twitch, it's going to be twitch.tv/ProHubsTF. This is where the PHL League actually happens. And this is the PHL League that all the orgs are playing in off-season and where all of us casters and talent come from. So a huge shout out to Embark for actually making that possible. This is genuinely one of the only times I've ever seen a developer interact this closely with their community organized tournaments. So a huge shout out to that. Huge shout out to the B stream that's happening right now as some teams are, well, Kelly, getting ready to go home early. But for these teams, they just want to get home back to the hotel and watch the rest of the day. One of these teams wants to get to day 2 ASAP.
I'm going to say two things quickly as well. First of all, don't sell yourself short. Without PHL, we probably wouldn't even have a comp scene in finals. All of you kept it going for super long. Second of all, I want to edit myself. Of course, we're Sonsoyo. He's the team owner of MAjOR Apes. For sure, he's higher ranked than me because he's a Ruby player right now. But, hopefully for a few more seasons, I get to catch up.
Absolutely. No, huge.
Oh my God, dude.
And a lot of the different teams that are so heavily involved with the finals esports scene, well, they've just had a lot to do with building the scene to bring us where we are today. Embark has helped us out so much. Speaking of people who've helped us out so much, I mean, we're talking for this long. Why don't we talk to Jerry and Sonsoyo?
Let's go.
The cast, and also sitting over here very patiently waiting for Kelly and I to stop yapping.
Is Alliance green?
Well, eventually we'll be able to talk to them. I think CNS is still invading. We're still getting rid of them. Swapped out to the next Via chip, actually. Most of that upgrade has been finished. Are they ready? Yeah, check now.
Love.
There you go.
There we
Nightmare and
go.
Alliance.
I would love to be able to talk. I would love it. By the time you guys get to shut up, that means that we get to watch a game. That's the biggest thing. And yeah, I don't know if you've heard a little bit of the bad news, Ardy, because I'm keeping track of the B stream.
Oh no!
In the background.
Oh no!
And I see that Secret have lost yet another cash out. So they're on the brink of going out early. Which
Secret?
is really
Team
rough
Secret's
for them.
not
But yeah, if you want a full story on that, then definitely get the B stream up in another tab.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in this format, anything can happen. In the finals, I mean, that's the beauty of it. It's so hype, so amazing to see. I mean, the B stream, watching everybody compete for their spot to continue on, especially over here on the A stream, it's been amazing to see these early wins. And we're going to be seeing in this game, most likely a big battle between Nightmare and Alliance. I think that's the big narrative and through line that we're going to be seeing coming up. But I do think the dark horses of King Zero, obviously with less experience from these EU and NA teams, not being able to scrim very often against them, that's going to be kind of a dark horse, but also Vanguard.
I mean, conversely, we've seen just how well Dragon Ranger can do, and they're coming from the same region. They could surprise us. Dragon Ranger managed to put down Fnatic and Team Secret into now what looks like dire peril, and maybe King Zero can do the same to Alliance and Nightmare. I would argue that Alliance and Nightmare
Oh my
represent
God.
an even bigger
I'm reading
threat,
some of the
and an even bigger
comments here
chasm
that it's
between
wild,
the top and the
dude.
bottom of this particular group, right? You know, Alliance coming out of PHL as the winners this season, best in EU, and then Nightmare coming a close, very tight second in their NA exploits. During the regular league season, they were on top without a doubt. And, you know, the eye test, as I like to call it, has shown that Nightmare are probably the best team here at the major. But it's it does still mean that there's the possibility for King Zero to break out. There's a possibility for Vanguard to break out. I've done a lot of talking to Sugi, their coach, and he's quietly confident about the way that they've been performing in scrims, the way that they've been conducting themselves, and like the preparation that they've put in. Of course, Nightmare and Alliance are no easy task, though.
Yeah, no easy task at all. I mean, straight up, Nightmare is a force to be reckoned with. They are, for all intents and purposes, a nightmare. And yeah, again, like talking about how all of these different coaches for these teams, they have a very different understanding of the macro. And
I don't
hey,
understand.
as we
What's the
saw
point of
in the
having
very
like the
first, time we
earphones
saw
and then the
one of
headphones on
Impact
top?
teams, we have no idea.
You know what I mean?
What KZ is bringing up. So yeah.
Yeah, and I do believe Vanguard is very well practiced, as you were talking about with Sugi being their coach. I mean, they love to bunker up. They're very strong on defense as well. They love to just make people force those points, pounce on top of them. But Alliance and Nightmare have been the consistent demons. They're just so good. Nightmare, I know they had a little bit of trouble when that H Infuser came out, but they've definitely found their stride. Uni typically being the more job.
Yeah, and Vanguard Gaming as well, it's worth saying they've had one of the easier routes here in terms of their record, right? They booked their spot with a 2-0 victory in phase 1. So
I don't know.
statistically,
I'm
you look
reading
at
the
the stats
chat, dude's
from
like, what's happening,
just,
dude? There's so
the
much
major,
stuff
because
that
of
is
course they
going
didn't
wrong.
make
The
it to
pauses,
PHL, which is a
there's
disappointment
been
for them,
like
but they've had the chance to work behind closed doors.
the editing,
Perhaps an
like
advantage is that, you know, their stats are really high.
dropping the
Arpico was like
music,
right
dude,
up to the
there
top
was
of
a
the best
pause,
lights.
whatever.
Statistically,
Sound
you know,
was
small
lost.
sample size, but statistically one of the best lights in EU at the end of the day. So
Absolutely. And I mean, gotta say, also, we have one of the best lights in EU here in this lobby. We have one of the best lights in NA in this lobby. We have so many incredible opportunities to
person's
watch
there.
the best finals gameplay here in Group C. And that is such a crazy zoom in on Palm. But we are about to dive in.
That is a
the
crazy
games here.
zoom in,
This
dude.
is going to be.
What are
insane. So
you
Kelly,
zooming in
obviously,
on, dude?
I know you're rooting for Alliance. What are you expecting out of
That
this
is the
match?
gag.
Yeah, not to be biased, but I think that Nightmare and us are probably the two strongest group. seeing how DRG just played, though. I mean, it's cash out. It's the finals. Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, and to guide you through what can happen, it's Jerry and Sotsoyo on the mic. Take it away, boys.
Yeah, and this is going to be such a hype map. As we were just talking about Nightmare and Alliance, it's really going to be about who comes on top of this first two cash outs. It's going to be a big battle between them, but in that, the chaos,
Here
I do
we
believe
go.
King Zero as well as Vanguard have such an amazing opportunity to take the lead for themselves. So as we go into this first vault fight, we're going to see how it runs out.
All right, good.
And here we go. We're tuning in now with our Pika on Vanguard Gaming. This is a team that they're running the Vanish Bomb. They also run that Dematerialize on Executor, one of the few mediums across both regions to really stick with this. Very useful in those crazy fights when you need to be able to kite back to point. Takes
They're already
back
about to be
a
attacked.
few seasons in terms of the meta. We've got these goos and these barricades up.
That was
ready
the
to
quickest heal
protect
I've ever seen in my life.
Treason, Palmer, Carnifex as they approach. This is Alliance first bite of the cherry, taking down our Pika already. Vanguard Gaming on the back foot here as Executor does get that trade back, but Treason shows him who the real master of the revolver is, gets the twofer. That's a clean wipe on the Vanguard.
Yeah, I love the use of that revolver and kind of going back. We have another third party. The
This is
King
Vanguard. It doesn't
Zero's
even matter
coming
that they
in
got wiped,
strong,
though.
and they're going to be going for an early pick on Palma, and that's going to put them on the back foot. They're going to be running
It
away.
just gives them a
Carnifex,
chance
using
to
that
see
dash,
how
gonna
the
try and get
teams
those skills out, but not
are.
enough. That third party on the vault
So-
fight now goes in the favor of King Zero as Nightmare is going to get an early plug and just take things away, chilling out, setting up on this high ground and just enjoying their time.
Absolutely. Nightmare having
They're
a
gonna hold it down.
whale of a time, not being bothered too much. King Zero getting that vault moving. They will be a little bit behind the pace, so you can expect plenty of third partying there later. And Vanguard Gaming look like they're
Tired, dude,
scouting out
tired.
They want to take a bit of an aggression onto Nightmare, who have had plenty of time to set up. Look at the Goo Fortress in the sky. This is one of the best things you can do in Cis Horizon, and we've seen plenty of Cis Horizon today. But we haven't seen so much of this. And yeah, this is what can be afforded to you if you have the time.
Yeah, and now we're going to be going in, forcing the point. Vanguard Gaming going to be using that dome, blocking off the doorway as well, but the line of sight is still there. Uni going to take a great line of sight. No steal comes out, and Drax is going to be under heavy fire as he gets reset.
Dude, the healing was
Executor gonna
on
be taken
point,
down
dude.
by
As
Gremlin.
soon as he
That
took
SA-12
damage,
going
he
to be
got
the first time that we're seeing this, but
crazy.
Lasagna getting caught off guard with that Shaka. Doesn't find the kill, and that should be a guaranteed kill, but I mean, he has so much backup.
I had my
Shaq,
doubts there
dude.
about Nightmare. They looked like they were a little bit late to the party. Alliance coming in pink. With about 40 seconds left on this cash
Alliance
out. We
is
throw
going
out
crazy right now.
barricades and domes. No goo, but that's in the pockets of the medium. Then they go for that chase down. Almost takes down Uni. Just barely dodging that RPG. Palmer might be able to have a second go at this, but he has to get that red barrel out of the way. He does actually damage himself in the process. Runs around the corner, gets the winch off on Gremlin, but Gremlin is better. And Treason gets that refrag. Can you get the defib off? No, Uni is there. Lasagna with the defib works out for him. Carnifex coming
I'll say
in, but
one versus
Lasagna
one, but
smacks
no.
him out of midair at close range with that repeater. And that's
Alliance
a solid
just
defense.
got
Nightmare fending off
smacked.
two
That's crazy.
teams.
Yeah, and another fight breaking out. We have King Zero gonna get to take out Drax. We got trades in the building, and Arpika gonna be the last one left against a 2v1. He does
This
find
is
that pick
crazy.
at 1 HP. Could get the clutch, that invis bomb setting up there on that high ground. He still has 30 seconds left, but he needs to find this pick or get that reset to bring his team back up and have the potential to force that point. But in this, even still, King Zero also gets 2 up and is back to a 2v2.
Missed opportunity potentially there for Vanguard on this attack. King Zero still in ownership of this box. Alliance are coming in as well. We have this third party as predicted. Nightmare have already finished off their box, but actually it seems as though Alliance has decided against it. No time. And that second cash out will go successfully to King Zero. So Nightmare and King Zero on the right side of your screen ahead of the pack. As we start the second wave of cash outs now, Nightmare already having tapped theirs. Seem like they're in control.
Yeah, this is a precarious
Usually I'm
situation.
getting
We have
triple
all
team
4
with all.
teams basically set up on the Vault 3. We do see Vanguard Gaming trying to back up, going to get the tap on 4. But, I mean, so much damage is coming the way of Nightmare, and that wipe could be meaningful as they tie things up with King Zero because of that.
Yeah, a few trades coming out here. And yeah, Nightmare being wiped out isn't ideal for their situation, to say the least. Yeah, that 4th vault being tapped. Is our Pika and the rest of Vanguard Gaming watching over it as we stand with C back behind them. That is probably the aim. At the early gateway. Oh, that's a devastating spawn. I don't know whether he spotted that, but Nightmare in the corner of your screen might be able to block that approach on C. If They're very smart about it. Unfortunately, looks like we're hitting a bit of a technical issue, so we have a pause.
There's no
We do have
way.
King Zero waiting the approach from Alliance as well. I mean, Alliance had control of this Vault 3. They came out on top even through all that chaos. But, I mean, they're still going to have to make the long journey across the road, across the map, and face King Zero. I mean, both of these fights at the same time, as they get plugged in, it's going to be a fight breaking out. I definitely know that for sure.
So far we've seen a little bit to kind of understand the balance of teams here. We know that Nightmare are dominating this lobby, really. They've managed to win
Someone
a
said
3
terrible
versus 6 effectively.
organized event. Nah, this might
Somewhat
be
predicted.
one of the
Alliance
worst
haven't stepped up, though. It's
seen.
actually King Zero. And we saw a fairly clear fight between themselves and Vanguard on the defense, and King Zero held off pretty decently. Now,
Tech
Vanguard's
is becoming very
forte has always
meta.
actually been the defense, because of course they bring that dematerializer to be able to defend the box more effectively, to be able to kite as though it's
Why are they
season
showing these guys
6,
again
season
instead
7,
of the
where
game?
the DMAT was really in its
Dude,
prevalence.
it's paused.
And if they don't actually get the plug, if they aren't defending, then they can't have that advantage.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I do believe that DMAT, when you're the only DMAT in the lobby, it proves a major advantage, especially what Jerry just said.
Dude, I don't
about
understand
on
what's
defense
going
specifically.
on. Like the
Their
technical
play
problem. I'm
style
sure
is
it's
super,
a lot
super
to, like,
defensive. They like getting that
run
plug, playing
an
it
event like this,
super
but
bunker play style. They hold up, just wait for a team to force point. But going
it's just
back,
kind of crazy with the
talking
pauses.
about Nightmare, I mean, Alliance did not want Nightmare to get the lead because of King Zero's third party in that box. They knew they had to take a fight against Nightmare because realistically, this is going to be the battle of the Goliaths in this map. And Nightmare and Alliance have the experience to, if they're ahead, they're going to grief out each other.
They've certainly got the crowd behind them as well. Seeing so many Alliance.
Someone said,
fans
"Bruh, show
out
the
there.
game, dude."
I think we caught
They
the tail end of a
can't, dude.
night
What do you
chant
mean?
as well going on. Lots of
The
fans
mics, dude, the
turned up to
mics
see
are
these
going
guys. It was
in
really
and
great
out.
meeting everyone last night as well,
People are
putting some
losing
faces to names.
sound.
And yeah, I know you're a little bit biased, and this is maybe a bit of an aside, but which is your favorite jersey that we've seen so far? I'm going to maybe have to put a hold on that question.
I mean, I'm going to say KCP is going to be up there. I
When
mean, it's a really standout jersey. The colors are just so amazing. Every jersey looks very, very clean. But as we were kind of touching on before, there's only maybe 1, 2 jerseys that are really stand out and colorful. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude,
I'm a big fan of the SSG.
I don't know why people are
The
going
kind
crazy.
of
I get it.
knitted look. It's like every single piece.
The
of
pauses suck when they're like, dude, yeah,
I
dude.
want to own that. You've
Do
seen my
they
taste
want to
in
just
that.
sit there in pure
But they're
silence
bold.
and
They're
wait
similar to the KCP
for the
jersey,
pause
I
to
guess.
happen, dude?
Well,
They're
seems
literally
like we're
being paid
almost
to
there,
entertain you. Dude.
Perhaps.
What are you
We'll
supposed
give
to
you
do
updates
during
as
the
and
pause?
when we get them. This person with the
Are they
spear, the
dumb?
buff spear sign has been so
People that dumb?
like every time you're on camera. Every time. And like I said earlier, we've got so many melee mains, it seems, in the audience, really sticking their flag in the ground. Or the spear.
To be fair, the spear does kind of need a buff. I think it's probably the worst melee weapon out there. Maybe the dual blades, but overall, I mean, I see Artie over there. He's like, dual blades, dual blades, dual blades. But overall, I think those are the 2 least favored weapons. I mean, early on.
We have seen some melee at the tournament today,
that
but
is
we've
true.
seen that sledge come out, which is really fun because it's been a while since we've seen Llama on the sledge. But there was, if this is your first time watching the finals, watching the esport, you might be thinking, oh, where are all the cool weapons? But I mean, that's really not true. That's probably what have you been watching, basically, if that's the case. Where are all the melee weapons? It's probably a more fair criticism. If you went back a couple of seasons, we had a huge sledge meta. It was basically you had either SA-12 or you had the sledge, and teams would build around that. It was so impressive to see these kind of. It was like a rock paper scissors effect in.
So that's B going, I'm guessing.
Play styles rather than weaponry. Anyway, it would appear we are back in the game right now, and we are tuning in with Palmer, who's moving box 3. We're in this second wave of cash outs Alliance, chasing it, but with a little bit of movement problems there from Palmer. It looks like he's gonna have to take a long way up
rewatch this later.
And he's actually met with some resistance as King Zero halts his advance.
I'm tired anyways.
And they're actually on top of the cash out right now. They have to bring it down to get that plug. Really sloppy start, but Alliance picking up.
Yeah, they do get that plug, and now King Zero is looking for them. They use all that goo, all the barricades to block the line of sight, and now they're on the low ground. A winch comes out, though, and takes
that was a clutch move
by surprise, and now we're going to be going on Palma, taking him out as well, and now they have the advantage. It looks like Treason gets dropped as well. Carnifex going to be looking like the last one there.
There's a good solid
That
wipe
Peach
coming
is
out
a
from King
fire
Zero, and the
color.
steal is going to be confirmed by them. We also have a steal on the other side of the map as Nightmare are losing their cash box to the hands. Oh no, they are stealing it. Excuse me. Yeah, so Nightmare managing to take that over. And so both cash box switching hands. Now we have the teams that are
King
already
Zero,
ahead of the pack,
who's the
just sort of
Chinese
doubling
team,
down on their lead. What can Vanguard and Alliance do
are
about
in
it?
the lead
Yeah,
right
this
now.
is looking very dangerous.
Against
We have
Nightmare
in
and
control of a box that's
Vanguard
almost halfway
and
done, just
Alliance.
over, and King Zero kind of approaching that as well. We're going to be looking at Vanguard as they make an approach on Yudi. He gets caught off guard, but uses all
Mind
three dashes.
you,
Now
the
has to burn his
Chinese team
gateway
started 8
as an escape, and
weeks
eventually
ago.
does get out. But now they're going
Dude,
to
they're
be
good
looking
at
to force
everything,
that
dude.
point, force that box, and make their approach. But this high ground is going to be proving difficult for Vanguard Gaming.
Dome comes out to take the potential steal here. Of course, Vanguard Gaming really want to flip this and get on the defense, and then they can kite away effectively. But really, it's just a case of steal it at the perfect moment. Now with 20 seconds left, that gas goes off, and that's caused huge problems. Executive has to back off. Our peak has been lost. Drax has been
tragic.
lost. That's curtains for Vanguard Gaming. They lose money on the wipe as well. It's just not working out for them. On the other side, we actually see Alliance successfully stealing
is
here
tragic.
from King Zero, and Carnifex getting the kills to boot. King Zero still 2 up, but where are they? I think maybe there was a bit of a stagger going on there. Yes, there was. We can see the late coin back in as King Zero lost that fight, and now they're squaring up against a full strength Alliance. Nightmare have come in for maybe a last second steal, but this has been winched out into the open, Sonsoyo.
Yeah, and I mean, this is going to be cutting down to the wire. I mean, Nightmare already has a huge advantage, and this would just like put them so far and above beyond these other teams. This is exactly what we were talking about in the analyst desk, but Nightmare now has the ability to target Alliance and kick them out of this lobby if they want to.
Yeah, Alliance do manage to claw their way
Yeah,
back.
I think
into the
everybody
game
wants Nightmare
somewhat
to
with
win.
that
Nightmare is
defense,
now finally in the lead, though.
stealing from King Zero, but now they are in that treacherous second place behind Nightmare. Nightmare still in control at a perfect juncture in the narrative. We have Vanguard now in a bit of a 3v3, a bit of a tussle against Alliance, and they are coming out with a bit of a bruise, a bit of a beating. Carnifex collects yet another, this fraggy light that we know and love.
Ooh,
He's
look at this.
fantastic, isn't he? He just takes
Teamwork,
out
dude.
both of those Vanguard.
I mean,
Gaming
I know
players.
it's all
Now we have
teamwork,
TTV
but dude,
Drax.
it's like instant
I feel like I'm
teamwork.
just
It's
advertising
crazy.
his channel. Go give him a sub. Why not? And he's just finding a quick way to perish.
People are
because he
going
needs to get that
crazy right now.
spawn back in. They are chasing the game. They need to hope for a potential double here if they want any chance of coming back in. And really, their fate is in the hands of Nightmare and King Zero.
Yeah, and this plug actually could be pretty good for King Zero because now they're in control of this. We have Nightmare sitting over onto Cash Out A. Really wanted to deny Alliance's plug because if they get
that's
that
huge,
plug,
yeah.
it could spill
King
very
Zero.
much of a troublesome situation.
Oh, Lasagna.
Lasagna finds him with that CB1 repeater, and now they could be in control as Uni pushes up on this high ground. Palma wastes that winch, and now we're just rotating this box away, keeping it out of Alliance's hands, because if they do get a plug, that could also spill trouble. You don't want to just give them free money and make it a kill race.
This is virtually unwinnable for anyone wanting to chase that
Oh,
box. There's
look
only
at
30
the steal.
seconds before
Oh,
it despawns, so
from
everyone
bottom.
now should be focused on B, on holding that and claiming that second
Oh, he's going
spot.
for the steal?
Well, just ahead of Nightmare it would be. They are very happy to take
should've
second
went for
place
that.
and
What is he
guarantee their
doing?
spot in the next 3 versus 3. Here's a steal coming out from Vanguard Gaming, and it looks like it's going to be successful.
They got
There's
it.
that Vanish Bomb as well to guard the exit as Drax is just lurking away
That's
with the RPG.
crazy.
And now Vanguard have it in their hands, but look at the cash tally. It's super close. Alliance could potentially play for kills here to try and supersede whatever Vanguard Gaming get at the end. The gas mine on top of the box
The
delays
gas
it. And King
mine.
Fu has to back away. King Zero have to wait for a fair while now before they can even attempt it. We see frags going off on the far side of the map.
They
and
can
now
get a
Alliance,
steal in the heel. Yep.
and now while the King Zero, they come in, but the winch, that's going to protect the box
They
for now.
winched it.
Yeah, and this is going
Wow.
insane. We see Pix, Drax going to be taken out, and this could spill some trouble for Vanguard Gaming. King Zero going to try and make their approach as well. They're going in onto this cash out. They need to make an attempt because whoever wins this towards the end, the stall is coming out from Arpika. But the shot
Dang,
comes
still
out.
died.
It could be King Zero's box.
They've got it.
And
They got it.
That's going to be huge for them as Vanguard
That
Gaming
is
tries to make the
crazy.
escape, get that res up. But 14 seconds left. It's going to be Alliance's chance to make their approach, but
Oh, it's only
Nightmare
one up.
may try and stop this as well. King Zero's going in.
Surely
I'm not sure
not.
they get the goose stall and stop it. No?
I think he did. I think he
It's gonna
landed the
go down the
goose
wire.
stall. No way, the
No
1 versus 3. Incredible play from again
Holy.
Goose stall on the side of King Zero Esports, puts them the spot ahead of Alliance, and they're going to go through to the best of 3 against Nightmare.
Wow. King Zero, I mean, we've seen it with DRG. King Zero now showing up to play. I mean, I have no word. The scoreboard's impeccable. But we're going to be heading back to Artie at the desk and Kelly. So, what do you have to say?
I said that we were going to be surprised by the
Someone said
Chinese
just
team.
what just
I
happened.
said there's
I
a
feel it
reason.
sometimes.
Season 9 is all about Dragon Rising. We
There's
are
so much
seeing
stuff
that
going
right
on, you
now.
really just don't know what's
What a
going on.
game, Kelly.
Absolutely. I think my heart almost stopped right
Especially
there.
with the
but,
camera
you know,
switches.
That's what we
Because
say
it's
about being
switching
here
among
in the finals
four
of the
other
major.
teams,
It's
dude.
the
So
best
you
teams
know,
in the
you know what I mean?
world.
Well,
Anything
two
can
teams.
happen. This is
So you're like watching one team
and
getting used
I
to
think Team
something,
Zero
and then it
absolutely
flips to
deserved
somebody
that.
else, and you're like,
If they played so well.
huh?
Yeah, I mean, Nightmare from the very beginning, they know how to control that macro. Zuki coaching behind the scenes, doing everything with this team, and Gremlin being a coach himself, knowing how to control that. You have Uni, you have Yuki, you have the Light from NA and Nightmare. They just held that control, but at the very end, it was Nightmare taking away Vault 6 from Alliance to prevent that plug and really
Vanguard
just turn the
did
entire
bad.
time in their favor.
Holy.
From there, fighting over that last cash out. Alliance had a kill race going when Vanguard was in control of the box. They could just get a couple kills, but even then, Nightmare was decimating them and preventing that kill race from even happening. All the while, of course, here comes King Zero, and wow. I mean, Ching Fu as well, just an incredible performance from a player that I don't have a lot of experience with. I mean, Kelly, this is unprecedented.
That's the thing about playing comp. That's the thing about playing rank, right? I think when you play War Tour in this casual mode, you kind of feel like, it's the 8K cash box, you know, we can live without it. But the thing about not having control when you start getting, playing rank, when you start playing comp, is losing even the first cash out. It affects you so much. I was quite surprised at the last cash out also because, I thought VGG had it, on the defense. But King Zero just did absolutely, the Chinese teams are doing absolutely crazy with the goose.
Yeah,
Rip
I mean,
and
so
roll
many
grinders.
differences here with how the teams are acquiring their kills, how the teams are managing through wipes and through all of this. I mean, by the
GG
2-minute mark, 2
Alliance.
minutes remaining in the match, the bank,
And
you had
voice
Alliance
cut
with
out, dude.
21K, you had KZ at 16K, and Vanguard at 5K. Those kind of splits are unprecedented, unfounded. I said that word 3 times now. Those kind of splits in cash is genuinely unthinkable.
Well, the customers did a really good job of covering the games. I think my heart rate was going so high after the second cash box.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be a really exciting 3v3. I'm excited to watch KZ play Nightmare.
Same here. Well, I know your heart was racing through that. I want to find out about more from Alliance. So let's jump to Oscar on the stage where he's going to talk to Treason.
Indeed, I am. Welcome back to Stockholm. I'm here with Treason, and maybe I see someone talking in chat. I want to talk to you about what it feels about being at LAN now in front of all the fans. How does it feel to actually be here?
But being at LAN, meeting all the people is crazy. Got to shout out Mbach for that one. Especially
British.
Tixie. Look at Tixie.
Pixie
British.
is a resident crowd goer. He just in there representing the crowd, going crazy. But okay, game 1 didn't go as we wanted, but we're far from over. We're going to see you go to B stream. Will you be back for phase 2?
Of course, we're going to fucking try our very best. We're going to make it back. Don't worry. This ain't over.
There it is. Strong words. Thank you so much, Treason. Head back, twink out with your team. And hey, we're finally wrapped
He
up
just
3
got
groups.
fined,
There's one
LOL.
more group to go before we head out into phase 2. And with that said, let's go on a quick break.
Dude,
And
they
then
make
there's
such
more
a big
the
deal
finals.
about some stupid stuff like that. Negative 10K.
We're at
Hi,
the break.
everyone. It's the break. Welcome in. Thanks, Oscar. Appreciate that. I just want to say, Kelly, now that I have a chance to do a little bit of banter, since both of our teams ended up on the B stream, when whatever money you guys get after you guys do end up winning something here at the 100K Grand Major, are you going to be paying for some media training for the team?
I just got attacked right now. I was like, oof, when I saw it. But the players, they're passionate. They just came off a game, quite an intense game. I
A
would
very
say.
intense game.
I mean, okay, to be fair, recently I've been playing finals with some people in our company, and they've been like low-key crashing up it. They're like, oh, it's so sweaty, blah, blah, blah. Like, when does it get better? And I'm like,
Hey,
It never gets better.
yeah, sometimes you get the games where you
Swear.
feel like, oh, I feel like I'm
Swear.
Cartifex. I feel like I'm Uni. I'm going absolutely insane.
I swear I
And
was
then
playing the
sometimes
game
they'll just
against
be,
a
oh
pro
wow,
team
okay. I
not
feel
too
like
long ago.
maybe I am no better
Like
than
literally, it had to be a
I
pro
am
team.
one of those days. Sometimes
They never
one of those
died. It was
days.
crazy.
Sorry, Mr. Broadcaster. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I can understand their frustration. Genuinely, a lot of these teams that have ended up towards that B stream, they have a lot of self-reflection about cash out. Again, when we talk about cash out and understanding, is it macro? Is it winning one team fight extra? Thixie and I had a very fantastic conversation about that last week, and genuinely, I can't wait to see what conversations come out of this. But we're about to jump into the best of 3. We do have Cicerise, of course, is our first map. We have Nozomi coming in at the second map. And Kelly, I'm so thankful to have had you on here. And I'm thankful to have Jerry and Sonsoyo as well to be joining us here for the best of 3, taking us through whatever that third map is going to be as well once we learn about it. And, well, Cicerise for now.
Cicerise for now. We've gotten very acquainted with Cicerise, haven't we, Sonsoyo? It's been a real Cicerise-y day.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
Cicerise is probably the competitive favorite, honestly.
Yep.
So it's very, very apt that we have this coming for us.
It has history as
Yeah.
being that competitive favorite because it was back in the day when we couldn't adjust whether you would have variants on a map or not. It was the only map without variants.
Yeah.
So it became standard for a kind of a very level playing field without random elements in it. But that's enough yapping about the history of the game. The present is far more important. And right now we've got a matchup for the ages. One of the greatest teams on the planet, Nightmare.
Nightmare
And a
versus
team
King
of
Cell.
virtual unknowns. King Zero Least
All right,
Zero.
so
King
I'm gonna
Zero
watch
Esports,
this
excuse me, coming
depending on
into
how it
the
goes,
arena
and which it
to
doesn't even matter
try
how
and
it
see if
depends
they
on how it
can
goes.
topple
I am
this
going to
Goliath.
take a nap.
Yeah, and as we run through the digital hallways coming at you to the arena, going into Vault 1, we have a Goliath of a team coming in. And honestly, I mean, King Zero is looking very strong too. So this could go either way on this first Vault fight. We know how important Vault fights can be. And King Zero probably has the better position here up on this high ground.
You see, once again, a North American side opting for that CBO1 repeater to try and play this map at range. And land the early damage. He lands a couple of shots there, but not anything too
Pea shooter
meaningful
go
onto the
crazy.
heavy. You see Gremlin closing the distance, losing a lot of his HP. He needs to back on up. This is actually a momentary advantage for King Zero if they can find a good position. Gremlin resurfacing, trying to stay in cover.
Dang.
Has to throw out the
Almost got
dome quite
blasted.
early, and that's a slowly but surely King Zero are creeping forward in the flow of this fight, but we know it can get explosive very quickly. And there's the winch, but Gremlin comes out on top as we pause.
No, there's
That is
way.
devastating. We'll have to
There's
find out
no
what's going
way.
on there.
Mid-fight pause. Did you see that counter winch, though, that came out from
No
Gremlin?
way.
The mid-air winch that Ching Fu had on Lasagna, and Gremlin just saved him. I mean, this is probably one of the worst times to pause, but with some technical difficulties, it's got to happen.
Yeah, something major must be happening for that to take precedent, because we don't typically pause in the middle of a team fight, in case anyone's wondering about the precedent set
Now
here.
the
So
Minecraft
do not
music
worry, yeah,
is
there's
wild.
almost certainly something quite important going on. That is the scream of the damned out there from Ardy. I don't know if you caught that on mic there at home.
Every time that
What a
happens, he jump
failure
scares me
of
a
a
little bit.
show. These
I
puzzles
look
have
off, I'm
ruined
like,
the
is
whole
something terrible
tournament.
happening? But
Come on, guys, let's be
he looks
honest.
pretty
We're
happy.
here
He's a
for
very
the
energetic
puzzles, not
man.
the
He's like a little
gameplay.
Labrador. Well, fairly large.
That was
Labrador,
the
I suppose,
worst
Ardy.
play.
Full of energy.
Dude, that was the
We are
worst.
resuming
haircut.
straight in the middle of the fight, and we can see in the kill feed those blows are being traded. Gremlin does go down in the mix of things. That
Dude,
is
they
hit.
should redo that.
Uni left alone up against the rest of King Zero. They may feel potentially a little bit hard done by, but it's the kind of things that can happen in these sorts of situations. King Zero coming out on top. It must be said, though, that they were edging forward in that fight and potentially deserved that victory off the
No,
balance of play.
Pause again.
It's a rough pill to swallow, though, for Nightmare.
Definitely. I mean, it could have swung realistically any way. We saw the initial winch and damage come out on the side of King Zero, but that counter winch that Gremlin had was just phenomenal, saving his medium from imminent death. I mean, it really swung the fight back in their favor, but it really came down to be a 50-50 in that fight, regardless of the pause and the situation
crazy,
on the
dude.
reaction time. But now we're coming
It's
out
crazy.
with another technical pause. Before the vault gets tapped, we have 13 seconds going to be waiting for Nightmare to respawn. So they're going to be spawning back in with enough time to put some pressure on this plug.
This is
and
insane,
76
dude.
meters away on this rotation as well.
It seemed as though King Zero had the height on that fight as well. That was an important factor in determining it. We saw that Nightmare dropped down to safety quite early on. And in that mid-fight, winch minigame aside, King Zero had the better positioning. So we will see if that trend continues. So far, we are 1-0 in terms of team fights for the side hailing from China and Nightmare, but on the back foot, which is something that we rarely say.
Yeah, I mean, it's really going to come down to King Zero's dominance and possession of this vault. But realistically, it's hard to say dominance actually, because with that fight being said, it's going to come down to how Nightmare can come back, swing back from that wipe and make their approach. I know they're a very, very consistent team defensively.